I'm going to present this the way that it looks because it looks pretty bad. It looks pretty bad, and this looks like a creepy lady anyways. They say she's 50 years old. 50 years old. Kimberli Jones. And she was charged for kidnapping. She went to Alamosa Walmart and tried to take a kid out of a shopping cart. Why is she doing this? Who does she know? What connections does she have? So I'm going to read the story and then I'm just going to ask one question because sometimes they'll say like a mother or a father is kidnapping their kid, and even though the court, they like to, they like the smell of their own. Anyways, okay, so let's read this story. This is from foxnews.com. I've seen it a couple times, but they've picked it up, and I'm just going to go with Andrew Mark Millers. Colorado woman Kimberli Jones, 50, has been charged with kidnapping and several other charges. She was arrested and charged after allegedly trying to kidnap a young child from a mother inside a Walmart, but was stopped by quick-thinking shoppers. Now, this is great. This is great news. Like I said, I'm going to report this the way it looks, okay? So if you just got some weird, creepy piece of crap living in Blanca, just not 30 miles away, goes to goddamn Walmart to kidnap somebody's kid? Some people in the comments were suggesting that this wasn't her first rodeo. So what the hell is that supposed to mean? There's an industry? Trafficking, human trafficking to me seems like it's like slavery. It's just so fucking big and major that I don't see it out in the open. I would assume that there's, shit in the pockets. There's, in the shadows in the pockets. And in some respects on farms, I was passed from one house to another for my labor, and very dirt cheap labor. So, and sometimes free labor. So there's human trafficking with the children of farmers. There's human trafficking with the children of farmers. But like actual slavery, human trafficking, big ass operations, I've never seen anything. I've read about it here and there. It's just so egregious, right? So if you would see something like up on an auction block, and also one other good thing is that due to the quick actions of citizens, thank you. Finally, the Alamosa police are finally acknowledging that when good citizens stand up and do good, cops are such assholes. Usually they'll arrest the bad person and then chastise the good. Well, you shouldn't have. You should have called us and waited. No, by the time I would have called you and you would have got out here, she would have already been to Nova Scotia due to the quick actions of citizens. So thank you to the police for thanking us. 50-year-old. Yeah, I just, there's I don't know. There's something about her that I just don't like. And then even if, the only caveat, the one question that I have that's not crystal clear is if she's a mother or grandmother or great-grandmother or something. And she's always taking care of the kid, and then at 17, the crappy mother came back and then used the courts to get the child 1 year, didn't raise, and now she's feeling like, I raised the kid, but this other piece of crap came in and just stole it because they wanted to have sex a long time ago and they was irresponsible, and then they came around. But even if she was an aunt or a grandma, she still looks like a fucking asshole. And if it's trafficking, what the fuck? Who have we caught? Who is this? Who else is she connected to? She's been charged with kidnapping, menacing, child abuse, and disorderly conduct. All those are interesting charges. Menacing means she had threatened somebody with a deadly weapon, either a knife or a bludgeon. She had a knife or a bludgeon or a gun. And it was felony menacing too, not just menacing. Disorderly conduct, which is a misdemeanor. Just not orderly. Hey, you stealing that kid. Hey, you being a part of a international trafficking ring. So, because I wouldn't, I mean, who the hell? I mean, I wouldn't know the next step, okay? So this Kimberli Jones assumes she's part of this international human trafficking and she wants to take this kid. Where is she going to take the kid to? To who? Does she know a person? Does she know some sort of ranch? There is a ranch down in New Mexico, isn't there? Menacing, child abuse, disorderly conduct, charged with kidnapping. The kidnapping, menacing, child abuse charges are felonies. Felony child abuse. I like assuming that it looks like prima facie you got Kimberli Jones just walking into Walmart trying to take somebody else's kid. And walking into Walmart trying to take... Didn't she know there's cameras all over the place? Like, what was she thinking? I don't even understand. This seems either like she's an amateur, or is this what they do? Are they able to... I mean, we're shooting all these balloons, but apparently these balloons have been up in our skies the whole time. So has she been hiding in plain sight, kidnapping kids in plain sight? Do we have people that are missing? How many people do we have missing? Is this an epidemic around here? I feel like I know very little. But if she was trying to take a child and abuse a child, menacing, kidnapping, disorderly, I'm glad they caught her. I'm glad the citizens stood up. I'm glad they caught her. Now, she only looks like she's about 100 pounds, right? You had that Mr. Camo Man, Jacket Man. Mr. Camo Man, Jacket Man, maybe Gangsta Man that stole some money out of the grocery store in Antonito. But he was about 200 pounds, so the citizens didn't stand up and then he got away. So if it wasn't for the citizens standing up, sometimes the police are just hanging out at Walmart. So they're already there on the scene. And you know, that's the whole point of police. Like, as much as I hate injustice, it's like, God, you want me to stand up? It's like that one guy that stood up against a semi-automatic pistol. The guy just killed 11 people and one guy without a fucking gun stood up to him. That's some fucking hardcore bravery. That's hardcore bravery. And that actually goes against Mao Zedong's little, all power comes from the barrel of a gun. Philosophy, line, whatever. Police say the crime was an isolated incident and that the public should not be worried. I mean, now I'm wondering, is she an aunt or something? And if she's just an aunt and they just kind of, took her grandchild because her meth daughter came back. It could be the other way too, right? She could have been the one that was supposed to take care of him and then got into meth and then she's all mad about it. The Alamosa police would like to thank the brave citizens, Walmart staff, and community for the quick response and for being alert. I just answered that question. Is she related to the kid that, she allegedly tried to kidnap? If she's related to it, you're throwing all these fucking felonies on, a family member. In Kentucky, they have family court. It doesn't work right, but I like the idea of it. You want families to stay intact. It's almost like having union court. You want strong unions. When men have a union shop and adults, men and women, have union shops and can get the jobs so we can survive out here. I think unions are just as important as families, marriages. When I think about institutions, man, I mean, I think some people just like marriage because, you just like sex. And who doesn't like that? But you're going to sit there and sacrifice family and unions and community and your country. You're going to sacrifice everything for the so-called marriage. You really like having sex, okay? And you wanted us all to love you all having sex, huh? Okay. But you all having sex doesn't help my life at all. And good for you. I'm not knocking you. Why can't we have both strong marriages, strong communities, and strong families? So I like the idea of trying to get the family, together. I hate the idea of how the system tries to say that person is in the wrong and then they all want to crap on so they find a scapegoat instead of saying, okay, look, we're all imperfect and we all could have done better. Let's try to do better going forward. And what can we do? What are the biggest complaints? So Jones is being held at the Alamosa County Detention Center. So Shirley Jones is going to be hanging out with Robert Thrash. Robert Thrash did a police action, and then the guy steals the other guy's gun, shoots his associate. His associate was shot, and they didn't charge him with anything. He went to the hospital. I just hope they deal with that matter pretty quick, because if a police officer went to effectuate an arrest warrant, there's an arrest warrant and a cop went to the residence and then the person resisted and shot one of their associates, they would be hailed as a hero. And they had to, justifiably. But we're just talking about this one right now. So Kimberli Jones, if you're not the aunt or the mother, you kind of look like an asshole if you are an aunt. So that's the big question that I want to know from the authorities, from somebody. Is she related to the child? It seems incredible that human traffickers are brazenly going into Walmart. Is that what you're telling me? Human traffickers are brazenly going into Walmart just trying to snatch random kids from... That's nuts. Either she's a terrible aunt or she's part of some international cartel. They say there's no further danger to the neighborhood. Why would they say that? If she's part of an international cartel, then there's a lot of danger to the neighborhood. But if she's their aunt or their grandma, then this is a family thing. And, she don't seem like a nice person. I would assume, I don't know, maybe just give her Halloween visitation. You can visit on Halloween. That's at least a day. That's at least something, But if it has nothing to do, she's not even related and has nothing to do, she just tried to take somebody else's fucking kid, okay. Throw the book at her. What the fuck are you even doing, motherfucker? Kidnapping? You're trying to take somebody's child? You're trying to take somebody's child? Fucking shit, man. What do I want to end this off with? Nothing. No, yeah.